Benvenuto! Welcome to Cherry Hill Home Cooking. My name is Mark. Today we're going to make asparagus and chicken quiche. And what we're going to need for this recipe today is, of course, any quiche starts out with eggs. So we need 4 large eggs. We're going to need a cup of cheese, your favorite cheese. I'm using sharp cheddar cheese. You can use any type of cheese you like. If you want to add a little bit of spice to it, you can use jalapeno or pepper jack cheese, whatever shredded cheese you like. Like I said, for this recipe, my favorite is a sharp cheddar, and that's a good sharp cheddar, meaning from the block. I grated it myself. You're going to need 2 tablespoons of self-rising flour. Now, all-purpose flour and self-rising flour are very different. If you don't have self-rising flour in your cabinet, don't worry about it. We're going to add a little recipe about how to make your own self-rising flour, a really small batch. It's really easy. A cup of flour, I believe it's 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of table salt. Really easy. Don't worry about it. We're also going to need 1 envelope of a vegetable dry soup mix. Again, this is a vegetable one. You can use French onion. I like it with the vegetable. We're going to need a cup of whole milk and 1/2 cup of light cream. I've got those together in the mixing, in the measuring cup. We're going to need about 1/4 cup of scallions, so that's probably going to be about 2 scallions or green onions. And of course, since it's asparagus and chicken, we're going to need some asparagus. Now, I'm going to lightly saute the asparagus, just lightly. We'll go over and put it in the pan in a minute for 4 or 5 minutes on medium low, just to kind of get it started a little tender. You can also use canned asparagus. If you don't have fresh asparagus or it's not available in the store, you can use canned asparagus. Of course, make sure you drain it. And then the other key ingredient, of course, is chicken. This recipe, you need cooked chicken. Okay, not raw chicken, cooked chicken. This recipe is a great recipe to use up any leftovers. This is actually just a store-bought, the breast of a store-bought rotisserie chicken. We're going to dice that up in a second. And then you need a 9-inch pie pan. I've got a little dab of shortening in there. We're going to grease the pan. I guess, strictly speaking, it's not really a quiche, because a quiche always has a crust. There's no crust to this, but we're going to call it a quiche anyway. All right, I think that's it. Let's get cooking. Okay, like I said, we're going to lightly saute our asparagus to give it a head start in the cooking. As you can see, I've got a little pat of butter in my nonstick pan. I'm going to add some of my favorite olive oil, probably about the same amount, teaspoon or so, and we're going to get our asparagus in there. All right, well, I'm not going to use any salt or pepper in this. Normally, if I was just sauteing asparagus and we were going to have it as a side dish, I would salt and pepper it lightly. But there's plenty of salt in the soup mix, so I don't think we really need any additional salt. But I love salt, so believe me, I don't think it needs it. But if you're a salt lover and you want more, by all means, put some more in there. So basically, all we're going to do is just let this saute as we for a little bit as we start to get our other ingredients together. Again, our purpose of this is not to fully cook it, because it's going to cook in the oven as well, but we want to give it a little bit of head start. Of course, if you're using cans, you don't need to do that. Also, be a good time set your oven to 350, get it preheating, so you're ready to get everything together when we move into the oven. All right, that's it. Okay, you can see the asparagus has been sauteing for about 4 or 5 minutes. It's just started to get that kind of bright green. It's softened up a little bit. I'm going to, of course, turn off your burner. I'm going to move it off the heat and put a piece of tin foil on top of it. It'll help it to start to continue to get a little bit softer. All right, and let's continue. So then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to grease our pie plate. And you want it somewhat, you don't want it heavy, kind of medium, because, of course, you want to make sure that you're able to get it out. So go up the sides. Make sure you get into the little circle. Okay, I think that's good. You don't need this little bit up the top there. All right, then we can set this aside for now. Then the next thing we need, of course, is we need our scallions. And we're just going to chop those up. Just little rounds. Going to use mostly just the green. If you get down to the crunchy whites a little bit, that's fine. Nothing to it. There you go. That's about 1/4 cup or 1/4 cup. All right. And then we're just going to chop up our nice roasted chicken. You know, don't have to be perfect about it. Nice little chunks. You want to make sure you're able to spread it through. And that's, like I said, that's about 1 cup, maybe a little bit more. I just cut off one of the chicken breasts. Of course, you could use any part of the chicken you want if you prefer dark meat or the white meat. Okay, couldn't be easier. You can set these to aside for now. All right, so then we got our eggs. And we're going to give them a light mixing. And we're going to add our self-rising flour in. Again, that's 2 tablespoons of self-rising flour. This, because there's the baking powder in there, it helps the eggs stay fluffy and for them to rise a bit. I'll get that mixed in. And all over the place. And then we're going to add, let's get our milk and cream in there. With a bit of a mix. And if I don't wipe up this flour, it's going to drive me crazy. All right, so then we've got our package of dry vegetable soup. Put that in. Give it a mix around. Our scallions in. This makes a great weekday meal. It's so quick to make. Like I said, if you have leftover chicken, it's a great way to use up any leftover chicken you've got. Add this with a nice little green salad like we're going to have tonight, and it makes a wonderful dinner. All right, in goes our diced chicken. Give that a little bit of a mix. And in with your cheese. Now, one of the reasons I don't use a pre-shredded cheese on a recipe like this is because you want to have a good melt on your cheese. And I don't know what. I think in the manufacturing when they do you buy the package of shredded cheese, I think they coat that with cornstarch or something, lightly coated, so that it doesn't clump up in the bag. And to me, I think that sometimes makes it not as creamy as you want. So depending upon the recipe, I'll use pre-shredded or do it right off the block or buy a block of good, nice quality cheese and shred it yourself. All right, that's all that there is to it. Next thing we're going to do, put that aside. I can just clean this up a bit. All right, and then we've got our pie plate. I've put it on. I don't think this is going to spill over because it's a pretty deep dish pie. So again, this is a 9-inch pie plate, and it's got the side. But just in case, I don't like my oven getting all dirty. So that's all nicely mixed together. And I'm going to pour it in our plate. Make sure you get out all the good stuff. All right. That's pretty evenly distributed, but just in case. Okay, and then I'm going to go grab my asparagus. And I'll get some tongs, just in case it's hot. And then you're just going to drop your asparagus on the top. Some of them are going to sink to the bottom. Usually alternate them like that. All right, now this is going to go into our 350 degree oven, and it's going to take, got everything right? Yep. It's going to take anywhere between 40 and 50 minutes. You want to get it, of course, set all the way through and nice golden brown. So, it's between the 40 and 50 minutes. It depends upon how well your oven maintains temperature, whether you've got hot spot or anything. But keep an eye on it. You might want to check it at the 30-minute mark. I know my oven pretty well, so I think this is going to take just about 40 to 45 minutes. So let's get it in the oven. Middle rack, of course. Okay, I'm going to set my timer for 40 minutes, but again, I think it's going to take about 45, but I'll come back and check on it in the 40, make sure it's got to the point that I want it. If it has, we'll take it out. Okay, Google, set a timer for 40 minutes. Didn't hear me. Okay, Google. Set a timer for 40 minutes.
All right, 40 minutes, and that's starting now.
All right, we'll see you in 40 minutes. Okay, I checked our quiche at 40 minutes. Like I suspected, it needed to brown a little bit more. It's been just about 44 minutes, and I think it's done. So, ooh, look at that. Beautiful. Golden brown and delicious. All right, so we're going to let this cool for at least 10 minutes. If you try to cut it now, all your hard work is going to fall apart, which you guys have seen that happen to me many times. But anyway, let it cool for at least 10 minutes. And we'll be back in 10 minutes and we're going to have dinner. Okay, we're back, and we're ready to eat. One thing with this quiche, you want to keep in mind, everybody, when you take it out, test it, you want it firm around the whole thing. So, again, I'm just a little concerned that if, when you make this, depending upon your oven, how it's going to react to it. So, of course, you don't want to burn it, but you do want to, make sure that when you take it out, you test it with your finger that it's firm all the way through into the middle. And then let it cool for a good 10 minutes. Anyway, all right, well, let's eat. It's delicious.
Oh, that's good.
It's delicious. Surprise, surprise.
Yep.
It's so nice with the fresh asparagus and
Nice with the chicken and
yep,
everything.
we've got the and asparagus is kind of a late spring vegetable, so it's
really
kind of a springy meal as well.
Delicious.
If you pair this with a nice garden salad for your dinner, you got a nice, I won't say light because it does have cream and milk in it, but you could be eating a lot heavier. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching this video with us, making this nice quiche and chicken pie, or asparagus and chicken quiche. More so, I hope you make it, and thank you so much for watching.
Yes, please subscribe and like the video.
Thumbs up.
You find this recipe at cherryhillhomecooking.com.
Ciao.
Bye. Wow, that's delicious.
Isn't it? That is good. It's a nice one. Yeah, definitely.